recapping another busy week of prep sports. It's High School Sports Talk on ESPN Radio 94.1.
Back here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1 with the coach, Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield. Big basketball event going on today in Chesapeake at Deep Creek High School. It all gets started at 1 o'clock. I'll be out there to watch an undefeated team in action and some other teams that have their sights set on making a playoff run. We're joined by the two basketball coaches who do a great job putting this on. We're talking about the boys coach at Deep Creek High School, Leroy Ricks, and the girls coach, Kip Sutton. We say good morning to them. Coaches, thank you for coming on the program. How you doing?
Oh, Matt, thanks for having us. Good morning.
Good morning to both of you. Not to bring up a sore subject, but I'm imagining that Coach Sutton's feeling a little bit better this morning than Coach Ricks. Is that fair to say or no?
That's. I'm pretty sure. I'm definitely Coach probably feeling a little bit down, but his team has really turned it around here over the past week. They 2 of their last 3 games they won, and they almost pulled it off last night. And from where he started and where they are now, man, Coach Rick's doing an excellent job.
That was the politically correct answer. I am down in the dumps. Kip just had to talk me off of the building for the 15th time this season.
Well, that's all right. I got a guy that can help give you some, I don't know if I would say he's good to give like psychiatrist advice, but he knows where you've been, and that is my cohort today, the coach, Ed Young, who's feeling better this year, but he's been where you've been, Coach Ricks.
Yeah, he's a part of my problems, too.
Hold on. There have been many a times people grab me from climbing the building. I was climbing the building last night in the first quarter outside. We were down 10-1, and I thought we'd be okay, and my assistants kept telling me, Coach, it's only the first quarter. I said, yeah, but I've seen this scenario before. So I came back in the building, and we were able to take care of business and get it done. But, Lee, I feel for you. We've had to go against you a couple times, and yes, we contributed to your L side, but let's not forget things. The last 4 years, you contributed greatly to my L side, so you know what they say about payback.
It comes back, and you know what it's called.
and don't forget, in the past, we've had some tremendous battles. Remember the kids like Corey Law, Mike
Andre
Scott.
Jones, Nick Wright.
Yes.
All of those guys, man. And
where we just stood up and acted like we were coaching because we had the people out there.
How about that? Don't let our secret out, Coach.
Hey, trust me, it's not you and I secret because a lot of dudes that are winning now are doing the same thing. Okay, smoke and mirrors, and when you can use kids on a transfer situation, life is good. And I'll leave it at that.
Hey, that's another whole interview, brother.
Yeah, because we want to talk about your event, which is big time, and it's the one of those marquee showcase events that Matt had talked about earlier.
Thank you for that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, let's do that. Let's start with both of you, Coach Ricks and Coach Sutton. Tell us about the genesis of this event, the Deep Creek Hornet Tip-Off Classic. Mike Scott, a former Deep Creek Grit, as Coach Young mentioned, now in the NBA with the Los Angeles Clippers. We've seen him for years with the Wizards and the Hawks, and also started at UVA, helping sponsor and present this event. Give us sort of the background to it and what the objective is with it.
Absolutely. A few years back, actually 8 years ago, Coach Sutton and myself came together to think about putting together a nice basketball event, and he had the idea of attaching it to a great cause. And we've all been touched by the disease cancer, and we felt like that would be as good a cause as any to attach to the event. So we decided to take it and run with it, and it has been a great event ever since. We've had great teams. We've had great sponsorship. We've had been able to give money back into the American Cancer Society to help fund finding a disease and helping with other issues that deal with cancer. And we've had great speakers to come out, survivors, and those that come out representing loved ones. We've had it's just been an overall holistic, wonderful event. And on top of it, the basketball part has just been the icing on the cake.
Yeah, and today's lineup you've got, is it 5 games total?
5 games total.
Yeah, we got we're gonna start off at 1 o'clock with Bishop Sullivan playing Potomac Falls. That's the undefeated team that's coming in. We're excited, to have them. So we're starting off the day with a great game. Then we got Wakefield from Arlington, Virginia. They'll be playing Western Branch. Two good teams playing really well right now.
Both, as you know, Matt, both of those teams were state finalists in their respective divisions, Wakefield in 5A and Western Branch in 6A.
Yep. Then also we got Frederick Douglass at 4:15 playing against Northeastern, the high school down in Elizabeth City. Then we'll follow it by the lone girls game tonight, which will be Deep Creek versus Wilson High School. Wilson's been playing well of late. Also, and then our nightcap, which will be Deep Creek High School and Roosevelt. And hopefully we can get some payback from last night on Roosevelt.
Absolutely. And again, ticket prices for those coming out there today, give us the rundown on that as well.
Ticket prices, Matt, we call ourselves the cheapest show in town, or the best value in town, I'll say. Our ticket price is only $8 for adult, $4 for children 12 and under, and Deep Creek High students with a student ID get in for $4 as well. And we do accept Virginia High School Coaches Association passes just for the card holder only. Again, the VHSCA passes, we will accept those. But everyone else, we ask that you pay to get in, as it is a donation towards a great cause. This is a fundraiser, so we definitely appreciate everyone's support coming in the doors, and we've got great concessions set up. There will be a hospitality room that's for the coaches and officials, and it's going to be a great day of basketball.
We're talking with Deep Creek coaches Kip Sutton on the girls' side and Leroy Rooks on the boys' side here as the Mike Scott Tip-Off Classic takes place today beginning at 1 o'clock. 5 games. You got Potomac Falls, Bishop Sullivan, Wakefield, Western Branch boys, 2:45. Frederick Douglass and Northeastern boys at 4:15. Deep Creek and Wilson girls at 6 p.m. and then Deep Creek boys taking on Roosevelt in the nightcap. $8 for adults, $4 for kids 12 and under, and $4 for Deep Creek students with student IDs. It's High School Sports Talk presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1, Ed.
Hey, guys, let me ask you this. And putting a showcase together, as Matt will attest to, being a veteran at it, it's no easy chore. You guys are doing one late in the season, which to me is even harder because a lot of teams, they don't want to put their kids in situations back-to-back. Some people do. You got the crazy idea of weather, which you're always at that mercy right up till game time. You guys are bringing in teams from out of state, which is, again, even more risky as to how you're doing it. So tell us how you go about getting teams, who do you want to bring in, when do you start asking, and who you target. And, just give us that idea about that.
Ed, you and Matt know very well this definitely is a long labor of love. It takes months and months to prepare something like this as far as getting the funding, as far as getting the lineups, and then we pray a lot for the weather. We have had teams from out of town. We've had teams from Connecticut, teams from North Carolina, teams from Northern Virginia. As we say, this year we've got teams from Maryland and D.C. as well as Northern Virginia, and the weather has affected us. We started this event, believe it or not, the first 2 years playing it on December 1st. And I believe the weather moved us back to January, and now here we stand, February 2nd. If we keep this up at this rate, we'll be playing in June eventually, because we've had to push the date back because of weather. Even if we have beautiful weather here, we have to consider the weather in other places where they may not be able to travel. So, but we've worked together to plan this and put it together.
Yeah, and also the one challenge that we found out is like trying to coach and prepare for your games and going into practice. I think Thursday, me and Coach Ricks was at a minimal portion of our practice, just dealing with making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, for the event. So trying to shift our mindset from, back-to-back games playing last night and then coming in here today and got to kind of shake off the actual game and making sure everybody's accommodated. It is a challenge, but it's for a good cause, and that's our main focus.
Coach, you lead into my next question. Mind reader. You guys are not like Matt's he's a definite promoter. He's not coaching anything, though he coaches every team in the world. He hasn't lost a game yet. According to him, I shouldn't have lost a game yet.
Undefeated, baby. I'm undefeated.
Well, you should hear the rants and raves I get after he sees my video. He breaks it down better than my assistant coaches do. But you guys, yes, not only are you promoting it and taking care of so much behind-the-scenes stuff, and I know you got really good help, too, because no tournament is run by just one or two people. You got to have behind-the-scenes help, and, we're going to let you pretty soon here to mention a few people, too, for that. But how you guys now, Coach Sutton, in your situation, you're playing Wilson, local team. You already know Roger Smith does a great job, but those girls are in every single battle. So you have an idea you're in for war. Now, Leroy's got to play somebody that's harder to scout. I'm not sure he's got an opportunity to go drive to D.C. to see Roosevelt. You got to rely maybe on some other people, or sometimes you get in a situation this late in the year, you worry strictly about your own team and what you need to do, and then you have to hurry up and make adjustments from the minute they come out to warm up until the end of the game. Talk about all that situation, a little bit about your two opponents today.
Yeah, that is tough. You saying all that has just made my headache come back. But
sorry, Coach, but that's my radio situation, not my coaching style.
That's all right, Coach. But when looking at and trying to prepare for these teams, you definitely got to do your due diligence, but we probably just put more emphasis on having a quality event and making sure that, everybody comes out, have a good time. And it's really about making sure that we put on, a good show, for people when they come out, because we got a lot of other events going on while that's, going on. So that's the, main thing. And it is a lot of people that really help with us with this event, from the boys and girls side, the community. We couldn't do it without the planning committee that we have, and it's too many names to even mention just one person. But as far as me with Wilson, I watched Wilson a couple of times, but I'm just trying to worry about what's going on in 4A and worry about, what's coming ahead and finishing out these last four games, strong. So.
And and Ed, you can attest to this as well. Just the amount of planning while having to do other things is, the amount of multitasking that we have to do at this time of year. With us just beginning a new semester, I just received a whole new set of students in my classes to prepare for, as well as preparing for the rest of my district games, as well as this event, has been mind-blowing. And no, I have not been able to drive up to D.C. to scout Roosevelt. The head coach and I are good friends. Rob Nickens does a great job at Roosevelt, and they've been a perennial D.C. Public school power for many years. And I expect nothing less this year. It's going to be a tremendous challenge for us tonight. But we're going to have a good time playing and seeing what comes of it. But, yes, like Kip said, our Tip-Off Classic committee has been tremendous. We have a retired school teacher who used to be my PE teacher, Sue Dixon. We've got current teachers, Jillian Ellis, Kim Woodhouse, Bonnie Kuhn, and the list goes on and on, along with parent volunteers that have joined the committee and helped out. Janine Creedle, who's a Deep Creek favorite, Mr. Farley Perkins from Southern Volkswagen, George Concepcion. The list goes on and on for people that have put their hands and their finances to the plow. But I want to give a special shout-out to our signature sponsor, Mr. Mike Scott, who happened to play for me for 3 years here at Deep Creek High School, from his sophomore to his senior year, and, of course, now playing in the NBA, doing very well. He's really done a fantastic job of reaching back to his community. He hosted his second camp. He hosted it here this year. It was a great success, and he's been a big sponsor for the Tip-Off Classic, and he's been primarily our sole sponsor this year for the Classic. And he's very proud to give back to a great cause, not only to his school, but also to help fight against cancer. So shout out to Big Mike, and we wish him all the continued success in the NBA.
Yeah, so a definite shout out to Mike and his dad. They've been great for area sports and community. They also were part of our Virginia Preps Classic in the past, and now with this Mike Scott Tip-Off Classic at Deep Creek, as you said, Coach, just to echo it, fighting for a good cause with cancer, which has affected so many lives out there. We're chatting with Coach Kip Sutton, the Deep Creek girls, and Leroy Ricks, the Deep Creek boys. Today it's the Mike Scott Tip-Off Classic. 5 games beginning at 1 o'clock here. It's ESPN Radio 94.1, less than $2 a game. Hard to beat that, beginning with undefeated Potomac Falls and Bishop Sullivan. The Deep Creek girls and boys will be in action at the end of the night as well. You can go see some next-level players with Maya Thomas headed to Maryland Eastern Shore, Caleb Butts committed to Virginia State. So go out there and support this for a great cause on ESPN Radio 94.1. We're running out of time, guys, so we'll get you out on this. Give us a Super Bowl pick, an MVP, and heads or tails.
I'll start off with the pick. It's hard to go against the Patriots, so I'm going to stay safe. New England Patriots and our guy, Tom Brady, MVP.
You got a score, Coach, and heads or tails?
Woo! That's a little tougher there. 21-13.
Ooh, low scoring. All right. And heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails. All right. What about you, Coach Sutton?
Yeah, I think I'm going with the Rams. I think if you're not a New England fan, that everybody else probably pulling for the Rams this year. It's just the same old thing that's out there. I really don't have a dog in the fight, but I'm pulling for the Rams. I'm thinking it'll definitely go down to the wire. I'm gonna say 28-31. I'm going to say tails, and MVP will be Woods, receiver. My fantasy receiver will be MVP.
Nice. I like that one. Well, hey, guys, thank you so much. We wish you all the best with the event later on today. The Mike Scott Tip-Off Classic going out to Deep Creek High School, $8, $4 for kids 12 and under. It should be a great day of hoops and for a good cause, and I'll see you both over there a little bit later on, all right?
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Good luck, guys.
Leroy Ricks and Kip Sutton, the basketball coaches at Deep Creek, with us here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com. When we return, we'll chat with the head basketball coach of the Hampton Crabbers. Got themselves a nice comeback win last night over a Peninsula District rival in Menchville. We're talking about Eric Brown. He's coming your way next on ESPN Radio 94.1.